Hello creative friends, this is Joy. So I created this junk journal a while back and decided that I was going to use it as a glue book. And here I'm showing you the drawers full of magazine images that I have. There's a drawer full of animal magazine images, a drawer full of people, and a drawer full of just other items. So I decided I was going to fill this junk journal that I created with magazine images and just turn it into a glue book. So I went through all three of the drawers and I pulled out all of the full page magazine images that I had in those drawers, which all of them were at the bottom of each drawer, so that I would have a collection to pull from in order to fill up this junk journal. I decided that I was going to use it as a glue book, and what's the, because I realized I made the junk journal out of a lot of junk and mail and junk that came through the mail. But then I was like, what do I do with it? I think I only did the first 2 pages, and then I was like, I don't need another art journal per se. I have tons of them. What can I use this for? And I'm like, I've got tons of magazine images that I would love to get into a journal. Don't know what to do with them. So guess what? This would be perfect for a glue book. So I decided that's what I was going to use this junk journal for. I will put a link to how I made the junk journal below so that you can see that if you're interested in making your own junk journal glue book. But that is what I decided to do with this junk journal. So again, I just pulled out all of the full pages because I've got a lot of large pages. What do you do with large page magazine images that you've been collecting and hoarding for years? If you've been doing that like I have, you just don't know what to do with them. So I'm like, this is perfect. So I thought, if I'm going to turn this into a glue book, I'm going to start out with the biggest pieces and work my way down to the smallest. So that's what I'm doing here. And as you can see, some of them I'm deciding to cut around the image and add them. Some of them, like this is a full page, but I'm going to add it to a smaller page. So I'm trying to figure out what size and how I want it to fit. And actually, this is an envelope in this junk journal, and I'm figuring out like how and where I want it to sit on this envelope, and then cutting around the rest of it. And I'm not throwing away any of those pieces because some of those have got some interesting patterns and colors on them that I can use either in other areas of this book or just throw it in my scrap stash and use it for something else later like clusters or you know anything, paper clips, what have you. So here you saw I cut down a whole page to fit on this envelope so that I can cover the envelope with this peacock, which I thought was kind of cool. And some of the images, like for this I don't think it's a crow. Well, maybe it is a crow. I decided to cut it out and put it on a page. And for, doing that, it's like you'll see here where obviously you'll be able to see the background of the, you know, page that I don't want to really necessarily show. It doesn't really look that great. So I measure it to say, okay, what size is this? And then I go through my stash and I try to find what I could potentially add to the background of this page. Now, I'm showing you the process I went through because, I did go through quite a process trying to figure out what to add behind this bird. But I must say it was quite a process to decide. I kept trying to remind myself, just go with your gut instinct and try not to be too particular But as you will see here, I could not make up my mind. So I auditioned quite a few pieces of paper, scrap paper, pattern paper, things from my stash behind this bird, hoping to find something that, I thought would work and that would look good with the bird. I tried combinations of papers, and I just didn't, wasn't happy with any of the papers that I came up with or ideas I came up with. And here I'm trying to use a book page. I kind of like that, or like some music note pages, which I like that as well. So I'm trying to decide, can I do like a combination? I think that would be kind of cool. So that's what I've decided to do for this particular page. I used a combination of a music note page and a book page to put behind the bird. So I'm just using a Yoo-Hoo glue stick to glue down the papers to the page. And for the book page, I decided to cut off the border around it and glue it down. And because I did that, now you can see like those numbers, which I wasn't too happy with, because with the border, which I guess I could have left and should have probably left it on there, it covered those numbers up, and then with the bird's tail, it covered those numbers up so you didn't see them. But in any case, I ended up remedying that by finding a quote to put over that little triangle part. So I found this little quote in my stash, and I thought that'll work. Actually, I think the quote came from the same page that the bird was on, and I just cut it out. I only cut out part of what the quote said. I don't remember what the whole thing said, but I just cut out the part that said "you'll crow about." Um, so yeah, I thought, well, that'll work. And then I grabbed this is a China marker to trace around everything and then smudge it with my fingers. China marker pretty much goes over anything and everything, and so I really like them, and they are definitely handy. And I did leave a little bit of the junk mail or whatever you can see in the bottom right hand corner. There's some text down there, but that didn't bother me so much. I figure, it kind of adds to, the overall layout or whatever. And I may come back and add a little bit more to this page later on. Um, but yeah, I thought that, I kind of like that, how that turned out. I was happy with that. So here are these two owls I wanted to put on this page, and but there was a gap at the top, so I looked to see what is it that I could use to close that gap. And so I'm looking through my um, scrap papers here that I have, and pattern papers, and trying to figure out what can I put up there that'll cover up that gap. So I found this one piece that I thought that looked good and I liked it, so I went ahead and decided to glue that and stick that down to the top, and then I added the owls to the bottom. Now I don't go through and show you me filling up this whole glue book, because I worked on this for quite a while, but I'm just showing you some of the ideas and ways that I resolved some of the issues that I had when I was going through gluing down magazine images in this glue book, so that you can kind of get an idea. So there was still a gap on this page, so I decided washi tape would be perfect. So that's what I decided to do, is put some washi tape on there. And unfortunately I decided to tear it, and it tore short, so I had to cut and add a little piece there to the edge. So I was happy with that. But yeah, I spent quite a while filling this glue book up, And so this ended up being several videos, and I'm still working on the finalizing everything, but once I do, I will definitely post a flip through of the whole thing so that you can see the whole thing. I just wanted to show you like some of my process and getting this going and my thinking behind it, so that, you know, if you're interested in creating a glue book and you've got a lot of magazine images, then this might be a good way to tackle it. Again, I decided to go with full page and larger images, and here you can see, you saw I just cut that out. I thought that that would look good, cut out and put on that page. This, I love this whole page, so I'm trying to find like a big page to put the whole thing on, because I'm like, I want to keep all of that. And I was trying to trim a little bit off the edges with my scissors to get it to fit to the page. But you'll see here in a little bit, I show you that as I'm going through, because like I said, eventually I just turn off the camera and just continue to glue images in this book, and then, you know, only turned on the camera when I had other things to show you so that you weren't watching like the same thing over and over again. But I'll show you at the end where, after doing so many of these, I came up with a better way that just was so much easier. But anyway, again, there's that little bit of a strip up top that I wanted to cover up, so I just took my washi tape out and covered that on the top there and cut off, you know, instead of trying to tear it so it wouldn't tear short. So I really like that, how that looked with that washi tape. And some of these pages, like right there, that peacock page, I probably won't do anything to that per se, because I like the pattern and the color in that. Um, some of them I'm not really going to do anything with. I really like these fish, and it's kind of a thin, long thing, so I was thinking, well, maybe it would fit on one of the inserts in one of the pockets, but I decided to go ahead and just glue it down to one of the pages. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just deciding to put it on this page. I wanted to cover the page first, so I measured off what I need to cut off. I cut it off, and then here I'm gluing that onto the page so I can cover up that page, and then gluing down my fish. So I really like the way the fish turned out. And again, I'll come back later and do more to it. The main idea here is just to get down the, you know, get all the magazine images glued into the book and the book filled. And so, yeah, that's my main purpose, or, you know, main thing for this is just to try to get the pages covered and the magazine images in the book. So here is where I show you, I've got this whole page, I need to glue it somewhere, so I'm trying to find a place where I want to put it, and I finally find a place to put like this castle that I thought would be a good place for it. So basically I'm putting glue stick on the page. I'm trying to figure out where I want it to land on the page, put it on there, and then use a craft knife. Look how easy that was. Wasn't that super easy? And then I took scissors to cut around the edges and cut the rest off. That made it so much easier to, you know, cover these pages with a full page like that. And I'm not too concerned about, you know, the text being cut off at the top, because eventually I will come back and do something more to that. So this here, I'm just showing you like what I've got so far. And the next one, I will show you where I continue to add images to smaller images and to cover tags, and then continue to decorate. So I hope you come back and see the other videos. And if you like this video, you can give me a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to be notified of the other videos I'll be posting. And I really thank you for stopping by and watching. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.